Hey everyone, my name is Deja. This was a request to show you guys how I do this drizzle effect in my candles. This is a strawberry cheesecake, and you see it has like jelly at the bottom, the drizzle. Okay, so stay tuned. What you're going to need is gel wax. So you have my gel wax. The cup you're going to be using, I'm doing pumpkin streusel, but I decided to do them in these cool little gray glasses. And then you're going to need paraffin wax, which I have a block of somewhere. My paraffin wax. Okay, and I'll show you step by step how to do it. So how I normally start is I start boiling the wax down for the actual candle, just so it's ready for me. Obviously I need to prepare the wick and the splash, but first you're going to need your pouring pot for the gel wax because it has to go directly over heat, and the paraffin wax. Now what I do is put the pouring pot on, and you can cut off pieces of paraffin wax, but this is just like easier for me. And I'm gonna just kind of let it sit in there until I have a nice little layer on the bottom. And then just twist it and turn it and all that good stuff. Okay, it's been a little bit of time. So when you cover the bottom, you don't want a lot. It's literally just enough to cover the bottom. You're gonna go ahead and take your paraffin wax out and let that sit there. All right, now gel wax is annoying to work with in some sense. Put that back there. This is the gel wax, and you're gonna take as much as you would want, and just drop it on in there. Give me a second. Now I've added in my gel wax. You see it's not that much. The little paraffin wax at the bottom, and we're just going to let that melt. And to color it, you always want to use candle dye, but not the chips. I always say that it doesn't work well with the chips, but sometimes I do the chips anyway. I'm not even gonna lie to you. As you can see, I have my brown dye in there, and my wax is melting. So now we just have to wait for it to finish melting. For this, I did use the block. The candle dye chips that I have, not liquid, because I wanted a really dark brown. So let's just wait for that to finish melting. Now that the wax is done melting, I had to add more because I was making 6. Okay, so that looks like a decent amount. You have to let it cool for a little bit. Now with gel wax, you want it to cool to about 200. So put my thermometer in there. It's at a very high temperature right now. So yeah, just want it to cool down a little bit. And while we're doing that, we're gonna go ahead and prep the other wax, pour them together, add in fragrances, and let that cool down too. The temperature is going down. Next you're gonna need one of these, a little dropper. And what you do with the dropper is you're gonna want to cut it. So the thing about gel wax is it actually cools pretty quick. So you're gonna want to cut off the tip and leave a big enough hole so that way if it does cool down, it doesn't clog it. And it's almost at the temperature for us to add fragrance. So now we're kind of at the consistency that we want, just a little chunky, not too chunky, and the fragrance oil is in, so give me a second. You're gonna want it a little slimy like that, easy to stir through, and you're gonna stir in the fragrance oil, and I've been stirring, so I'm gonna go ahead and wipe this off, and it should just kind of drip down like that, you see? Okay, now you're gonna grab your dropper. I'm gonna see if I can change my angle. All right, so get your cup. You see your wick is in there in place. You're gonna take your dropper inside your gel wax mix, and it's a little messy, but you just kind of squirt it on down. And sometimes you gotta give it a bit of an extra push, but like that. It does cool really quick, like I said, so you gotta be careful with that. But you don't have to use this dropper tool or even have to use it the way that I'm using it. You can just hold it over it and it'll create this drizzle. Did you see that? But, you know, it is a messy process, I mean, I'm sorry. But you just do it however you see fit, however you want to do it. And just see that? And I really like the way this one is. The only thing is I really want some gel on the bottom to kind of give it a chocolate effect. So I just squeeze it out in there on the bottom. Just so that it's really easy. Just kind of gotta know what you're doing, and it is really messy, so beware of that. And the drizzle effect. There's a piece stuck, but it kind of looks like spider webs. You see, and it's just do it however you want, however you see fit. And I'm gonna do the rest of them. I don't know if I'm going to edit out me doing the rest of them or not, but we'll see. And if your tip gets messed up, you're just going to have to grab another one. And here's a nice little gel piece that I'm just going to throw on the bottom. Okay. Another way too, if you don't have the dropper, is you can use a little stick and you can just let it drip off in there, see? And just kind of keep going with it. And since gel wax is so easy to kind of clean up because, well, it's gel, so it just kind of peels off. You can see it right there. So again, don't worry about the cleanup because it's actually really easy to clean up gel. It really just like peels right off. Gel rim on this one, so I'm just gonna go through with my stick and go right through. Like you can see, they're all done. I've got drizzle, and I have a lot left over. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to put that in the bottom of each one. Okay, so let's go ahead and take this out. It's really sticky. And get the pour in. Each one. And like I said, gel wax kind of starts cooling really fast when it's not a high mixture. And I don't worry about making a mess because it also just kind of peels right off. And very easy cleanup. It's just a little bit harder to work with when it cools so fast, but it also makes it easier to work with when it cools so fast. So it's like win-win-win-lose kind of thing. You know, if it does heat or cool too much, you can just put it on the stove for a quick minute. But you see, like I said, it's very easy cleanup, very easy to manage, very easy to play with. And then when you put it on the stove, you put it on very low heat, you stir, and you just let it cool down or melt up a little bit more like I'm doing. Stir it a little bit, low heat, and eventually, see, it'll just start softening up. making it very easy to work with again. Right. So I'm gonna let that do that. This next part is kind of where you have to be more cautious with, because you don't want the wax that's in here to melt the gel wax that's going into the cups. So you always want to make sure it's at a very low pouring temperature, probably more than what you're used to, but at least like 120, you know, nothing too hot to the point where it will melt the other wax. You don't want that to happen. You want it to be cooled. So you do have to be very patient with that part. And now my wax is cooled. It is at, I'll clean this off and measure that. So as you can see, hold on, give me one second. Here I am at 123.4, and that is a decent temperature, and I have my scent added to it already. I already poured 2. Did you see them? You can see the details in it. And of course, like I said, you want to make sure it's cooled. I plan on making wax melts too, so I know I'm going to have some extra wax left over. I still have some wax on the stove for me. That should be enough for these last 2. And then, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. And then you center your wicks and you'll have this beautiful effect, and I'll show you them when they are cured so you can see what they look like. Okay, so I have one more tip. Is you see these have aluminum foil around them. So I didn't add the aluminum foil until, of course, I added the other wax because I wanted you guys to see. But the aluminum foil will help eliminate wet spots. It makes the candle kind of cure evenly all around. I made my own wick holders, don't judge me. But yeah, so we're almost done here, and then I'll show you the end result. Okay, so the candles are done curing for the most part. I have different effects on different ones, but I'm just going to show these 2. So here is final product. You see that? You can see the drizzle nice and clear. There's the top, nice smooth finish. This one, I had to heat up the top. There was a little bit of tunneling going on. That's mainly because I pour when it's cool, so I expect that. The excess drizzle that was on the cup, I peeled it off and I just threw it in the top. A little bit of flare shebang. But yeah, so that is how I do my drizzle effects. See, it's beautiful. If you don't want them leaning up on the top, like I said, gel is very easy to clean. It is probably the easiest wax to clean up because it literally just peels. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope this helped. If there's any questions, you know, feel free to ask. You can message me, you can comment on the video wherever it is posted. But yeah, stay tuned for how I do the whipped cream effect on my drink candles. Okay, I know I said I was done, but I just want to show you guys this one because I put the gel wax on top of it as well. So you can see it's kind of like triple layered going on here. I still have to clean them up, you know, get them more presentable. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed watching this.